spend a lot of time in the book discussing this concept of who we are and how important who we are is compared to things like what we do. Can you give me some insight as to, I guess, where this came from, why it's so important, and how it fits not only in Bo's Cafe's life, but in our own lives?
Derek, that's a great question, and I think it is the question. There is a lot for us to do. Love has endless things for us to do. We always say love is the process of meeting needs. And so if that's true, there's a ton of stuff we get to do in the Christian life as a servant, as a lover, as a friend, tons of stuff. But I can try to add that from the outside and grow tired and weary and frustrated and pharisaical and religious. So Scripture keeps pointing me back to putting my entire hope and all my trust and dependency on who Christ says I am, this new creature, that on my worst day, I'm Christ in John Lynch, fused with him. And if I start each day depending upon that, not trying to impress God or assuage my shame by doing enough things to impress him, but instead he says, John, all I'm asking is that you would trust who I say I am in you and who you are in me. And out of that will come life that will allow you to get to do a ton of stuff. So we believe if somebody understands that, it will take them from doing this Christianity and doing it as a religious duty, and the language will change. Instead of, oh, gosh, I ought to, I really should, I don't know what's wrong with me, when am I going to be better, I know I ought to do this, but I don't, I want to try to do it better. It'll change into saying, God, you adore me, and you love me more than I love me, and you are working on me 24/7 from the inside out. And I'm going to put my hope in who you say I am. I'm going to put my hope in what you're doing in me. And not try to impress you and buck up or bluff or dance or anything else. So we've woven that throughout the book because it takes a long time to trust that. It really takes a long time for me to believe that such a life will hold up. It feels like I'm holding on to Jesus. If I stop holding on to him, he's going to let go of me. The truth is, my holding on to him and $3.50 will get me a medium-sized latte. He's holding on to me, and his commitment is to me, and he's made me a new creature. And when I believe that, when I put my hope and trust in that, his life, his power, his newness of life can come out in me.
Wow. One of the characters in the book mentions, I'm worthy of being loved. If God says I'm worthy of being loved, then I'm worthy. And then another one says, I'm righteous right now. It reminded me of an old book that Martin Luther wrote called A Freedom of a Christian, where he just expands on this concept that Jesus talks about, where if the root is good, then the fruit will be good. But you can't get it backwards. You can't make good fruit force good roots to happen.
That's beautiful. And no amount of good fruit is going to create good roots. In fact, it cannot happen. We write this statement in the book where Andy says to Stephen, grace is a gift only the non-religious can accept. They're the only ones who can get it. They're the only ones who can use it. Religious folks see grace as soft. And here we go. So they keep trying to manage their junk with their own willpower and tenacity. Nothing defines religion quite as well as a bunch of people trying to do nearly impossible tasks with limited power while bluffing to themselves that it's working.
Wow.
There may be no more stronger oxymoron than the term sin management. I can't manage my sin.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have to trust. Christ died for every single sin because I cannot solve any sin. So I've got to trust his strength, his power, his resource within me now. And that's a whole new way of doing life for a lot of people. Many people have been doing, oh man, after all he's done for me, and this is religious. This is that religious person. After all he's done for me, I should do better. I'm going to try better. And it's not there. My willpower will not win the day in this one.
Yeah.
So he's saying, John, your route has changed. All these things in Scripture that I get to do, it would be so much better if instead of saying, oh, I should, for the New Testament believer to be able to read them and say, I can.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.